day that belongs to resolutions. They come seeking the same. Not for a new year or a clean start, not for a promise or a pledge, but for an answer and an ending. Resolution. This game is rooted in its meaning and shaped by its sense. In tenacity and toughness, in determination and decision, in value and worth. For two teams who have journeyed through their seasons with hard losses early and great wins late, there remains one challenge and one chance for vindication, for celebration, for resolution, for the Rose Bowl.
Chris, thank you very much. A beautiful day for this Rose Bowl, matching two very high-spirited teams here at Kirkherb Street just a short time ago before they went back to the locker rooms. Verbal square-off at midfield.
These teams have been hearing about one another for quite some time, so you can imagine the emotions finally to be in this environment to want to take on each other, and you can see the emotions spilling over there.
Great offense against wonderful defense. The Ducks are going to score some points, my friend.
The Ducks are going to score some points. It's a matter of Ohio State and just trying to slow them down. And anytime you have an offense that has the ability to run and throw, it really puts the defense at a disadvantage. And Jeremiah Massolli right now comes into this game, probably has as much confidence as any quarterback in college football. He's got great understanding of the scheme. He's got an amazing speed to make you pay for it if you spend too much time on LaMichael James. He's got the power to run over safeties that come up and run support, and he's the X factor. He can create, and as I said, is playing with as much as confidence as you're going to want to see from a quarterback. Now, as you see, this will be the best defense that Oregon has gone up against this year. How will that affect them? Will they get to third and long situations? Will Ohio State's athletic secondary and linebacking core be able to make plays in space? Everybody wants to see that because of the Florida, the LSU game, and so on. So Ohio State's got to step up defensively.
And you can see the yellow and green, the familiar colors of the Ducks who have come down here in droves from the Northwest. And we pan across to the scarlet and gray of the Buckeye fans, who likewise are here in huge numbers. One of the toughest tickets in many a year. The Rose Bowl, and now there is Chip Kelly, first-year coach, bringing the Ducks out. Jim Tressel and the Ohio State Buckeyes. Let's go down to Lisa with Coach Keller.
Thank you very much, Brent. Chip, your offense takes up-tempo to a whole new level. What impact are you hoping that the speed of your attack will have on this game?
You know, we're always trying to wear the other team down and see if they can play at our pace. I don't think it's something that you can do 1 or 2 weeks to get ready for. You know, it's a way we play all the time.
Now, you have stressed to your guys all season long to live in the moment. What did you say to your players before you left the locker room to prepare them for this Rose Bowl moment?
The moment doesn't get any better than this. I love them with all my heart. Go play football the Oregon way.
All right, thank you very much, Chip, and good luck to you. Guys.
Thank you so much, Lisa. And everybody just sit back, settle in. We've watched a lot of football. And let's let Oregon and Ohio State bring it to you here at the beginning. The journey begins. Herron. Young Pryor will take over at the 25-yard line, Herbie. And will they keep it simplified? Will they keep it reduced for him today?
I don't think so. I don't think they're going to be able to afford to do that with the ability that Oregon has to score points. I think maybe early in the game to settle him down, but at the same time, in talking to Jim Tressel, he really feels that Terrelle Pryor's ability to throw the ball vertically downfield will be a big part of Ohio State's plan today against this style of Oregon defense.
Sane will open as the running back, number 3, Brandon Sane, alongside Pryor. And on first down, fires middle, incomplete. Second down and 10 as we take a look at the offensive lineup of the Buckeyes, presented by Taco Bell. Always good offensive line, but it's healthy today. Mike Brewster completely healthy and ready to anchor the middle. The skill players do not overlook Zach Boren. All week they have practiced circling him out of the backfield as an extra receiver. There's the screen out the side to Zanzenbacher. And it puts him in third down as we take a look at our Taco Bell defensive lineup for the Ducks. Very active, not a big defense. Tukuafu up front is an outstanding defensive end, as is Kenny Rowe. Linebackers, you remember the name Casey Matthews? Seems like every time USC played the Rose Bowl, there was a Matthews. That secondary, keep an eye on number 2, TJ Ward, one of the best hitters in the college game. And on this third down, Pryor will take off. There's the problem he creates. Was he hobbling a little bit when he went out of bounds over there, Herbie?
When he made that cut, but you can see this is the problem on third down, that he can give a defense. The linebackers clear out, and Brent, you're right. Right here, I think he's already beginning to hobble a bit, and then definitely when he steps out of bounds, there's a noticeable limp here from Pryor. The cut right there to the outside. Now, he's talked about a knee bothering him. This is the first time he's had to use his legs here early in this game. We'll keep a very close eye on his status throughout the ball game, obviously.
That was a 3rd and 6, and he ran for 24. And they are throwing early and often here today. And one of the things to keep in mind as Posey, probably his most dangerous wide receiver, makes his first catch. Keep in mind that they are short-handed at the wide receiver spot. Ray Small, the senior, is not here, violation of team rules. Deron Carter, who's a fine prospect, is not here because of academics. So they are short-handed there, Herbie.
They are short-handed, but they have a lot of confidence in the young receivers that are now stepping up to replace the 2 that they've lost.
Second down, throws for another first down. Very impressively as Posey makes his second catch. Terrelle Pryor may be growing up right in front of us on this Rose Bowl afternoon.
5 plays and 5 straight pass plays to open the game for Jim Tressel and Terrelle Pryor. The weakness of the Oregon defense is on the perimeter. The secondary, especially at corner. If you have a quarterback that can throw the football and receivers that can make plays against this attacking defense, you can attack them through the air.
Torian Washington's that a receiver. There's that flanker screen to Zanzenbacher as they go and attack the edge, and it's good for 7 yards.
Oregon's strength as a defense is running to the football, chasing the football up close to the line of scrimmage with their speeds. They, at times, because of the lack of size in the defensive line, they're willing to get their safeties and linebackers up really close to the line of scrimmage, and it does leave them vulnerable at times to one-on-one coverage on the outside.
There's the handoff to Sane. Another first down. Barges across the 15-yard line. And the Bucks rolling early as Eddie Pleasant makes the stop for Oregon.
This is an offensive lineman loves to see a passing game work because it tends to open up some creases in the running game. Brent, you talked about it. The offensive line is not only healthy now, but they come into this game with a great deal of confidence. In the last 5 games since the Purdue loss, they've averaged 258 yards a game on the ground.
Good protection, incomplete. Zanzenbacher the intended target, and it'll be second down and 10. Pasinger was the defender there.
This Ohio State football team, when they get down into the red zone, you can see they've not had a lot of success. But I think a lot of that has been because of the play calling and the design of the offense that they have had, been much more conservative in the last 5 games than what they've shown in this opening drive.
And Boren is to the quarterback's left. He picks up the blitzer. Fire, end zone, in and out of Posey's hands. Had a crack at it just inside the pylon.
Well, this is a matchup that Ohio State wants to try to exploit. Anytime they're going to get DeVere Posey, who they feel is their most talented wide receiver, one-on-one in coverage, especially down in this area, they want to try and throw him the football. Pryor puts the ball where Posey, you would think, would be able to make that catch. One-on-one against the sophomore Anthony Gilden. He's there. He's got to hold on to the football for that touchdown.
Pryor, Sane, touchdown, Ohio State. So here is Petrie, back from an injury. His replacement, Devin Barkley, due to handle kickoffs here today. They were worried about his leverage in the kickoff portion of the game, but Petrie tacks on the extra point. Well, Jeremiah Massolli will be out next. We'll see about that Duck offense, but keep this in mind about Kenyon Barner, number 24, who is back deep against UCLA on this same field when they were struggling. Start of the second half, he took it back 100 yards. The second half kickoff for a touchdown. They exploded for 3 touchdowns in 6 plays to take charge of the Bruins on that day. Jeremiah Massolli did not quarterback Oregon on that Saturday afternoon. He was out with a knee injury, but he'll be here today, and Barner now awaits the Barkley kickoff. Here he comes. Stopped at the 26-yard line, and so Herbie, our first look today at Massolli.
Well, I'm sure Masoli's anxious to get on the field after what Terrelle Pryor and the Buckeyes did on their opening drive. It's about poise and composure. He's the X factor on this offense, ability to run the football. Ohio State is anxious to show that they can tackle and defend the running game. Much like Pryor, Masoli's going to have to make some plays also with his arm against an attacking defense.
LaMichael James motions out of the backfield. They go empty. And now it's Massoli's turn. Throw in underneath with blockers in front of the back for a first down. We take a look at the Taco Bell starting offensive lineup for these high-powered Oregon Ducks. Offensive line, and Jordan Holmes out of Yuba City, California. He anchors it. He's a good one. You've just seen James as a receiver. Jeff Mayo is one of those underrated wide receivers who just does the job game after game after game. And here comes Barner, who they send him in, and it is a first down for the Ducks. We take a look at the Ohio State defense, and here's the big matchup. Cameron Hayward, one of the best defensive ends in the country. The linebackers, Roll and Homan, tackling machines. In that secondary, there's Kurt Coleman, all Big Ten safety. On a first down now, off that read option, Masoli's in trouble. There is that defensive front, and Cameron Hayward, with his 6th sack of the season, rolls in on Masoli.
The margin of error for this Oregon offensive line is very, very slight because of the athletic ability and size of Ohio State's defensive line. Oregon's had a lot of success in the Pac-10, but Brent, by far, this is the most talented defensive front with the depth that they have that they've faced all year.
There's the read option, and James is stopped as he crosses to about the 42-yard line.
And when you create negative plays as a defense against Chip Kelly's style of offense, it's such an option attack-oriented offense. You get them into third down and long, it takes them out of their comfort zone, and it allows Ohio State to get creative or get conservative, depending on what they want to dial up here on third and long.
Massolli, as the play breaks down, takes off, and he'll go out of bounds far side. Coleman closing in, and the Ducks are going to be forced to punt on their first series of this Rose Bowl.
You've got to go back to the first down play by Hayward, which ended up disrupting the rhythm of this Oregon offense. This is an offense that thrives on 2nd and 2 and 3rd and 3. You put them in 2nd and 3rd and long, and they get into big trouble.
Posey will replace Small as the return man on punts. Rice. And Posey this time signals for the fair catch at midfield. Terrelle Pryor and the Bucks with an early lead have a short field to work with when we come back. Terrelle Pryor with a 7-point lead. Down, wide open, Sane. Got it. Foot race. First and goal, the young man who scored the touchdown. That's 46 yards with Kenny Rowe, the defender in pursuit.
They're going to slip him out of the backfield on a wheel route. Oregon again bringing pressure. One-on-one coverage with Brandon Sang with a safety. Ward, or actually the defensive end that time, dropping back into coverage is Rowe, and he's no way he's going to be able to stay with Brandon Sang. Brandon Sang, in his first 3 years at Ohio State, seems to always be slipping out of the backfield, down the sidelines on those wheel routes and showing great hands.
Wonderful tightrope work down that sideline to stay in bounds. Stoneburner, bad snap, mishandled by Pryor. Tries to save it, dives forward, back to the 6. There is the 6'6", 235-pound sophomore.
Well, the athletic ability and the ability to improvise, it's one thing to catch up to him. And Oregon has the speed. That's T.J. Ward trying to bring him down along with Eddie Pleasant. It's another thing to try to bring the big fella down at 6'6", 235 pounds. Eddie Pleasant's 5'11", 207. He's got the speed, but it's a whole different argument trying to bring the big guy down.
Pryor to the 4. T.J. Ward with the stop.
It's a great job there by Oregon's defense, keeping Pryor inside and forcing him to cut up into the teeth of the defense where there's 3 or 4 more green jerseys waiting for him. You lose contain with Terrelle Pryor, and he can get to the corner and into the end zone in a hurry.
They're going to spread the field a little bit. 3 wide. Posey, Sanzenbacher, and Washington checks in. Pryor cut off. Won't make it.
First time we've had a chance to see Casey Matthews. That time, really nice job of getting away from the blocks and then finally getting upfield there to be able to push Terrelle Pryor down to hit big hit.
Devin Barkley will trot out now and attempt this field goal. Keep in mind that Aaron Petrie had tacked on the extra point, so we are wondering if he re-injured that knee on that extra point. This is Barkley, who had kicked off. He kicks the field goal, and it is 10-0 Buckeyes. Barkley bobbled at the 13, and then Barner picks it up and returns it to the 42-yard line. Starts with an end run, and Barner on the edge comes up big. One way to defeat that big swift defensive line get over on the edge and make something happen.
Yeah, either you get the ball out quick with a pass or you do it on a reverse here. And Barner has the same kind of explosiveness that LaMichael James has. If he gets to the corner, again, he can get downfield in a hurry.
Here's Massolli keeping it himself. Barges across the 10-yard line.
All of a sudden, a big play by Barner and a fake to LaMichael James on the option read, and Ohio State starts to chase that because you have to respect the speed, and it leaves Massolli open.
Up-tempo, Massolli on the roll. He'll throw it away. So we have come to the end of the first quarter, which until just the very end has been dominated by Ohio State. But Barner's 37-yard run turned things in Oregon's favor. And this presentation of the Rose Bowl game presented by Citi returns after this message and a word from our ABC station. We welcome you back to the Rose Bowl in Pasadena, California with Kirk Herbstreit and Lisa Salters. I'm Brent Musburger. We wish all of you a very happy and healthy 2010. The Oregon Ducks trail it by 10. James gets the first handoff, and he's to the 7-yard line as we open the second quarter. Right near the top of the hour, and the Buckeyes scored on their first drive and later added a field goal, Herbie.
You see Barner going in motion. Now, just the fact that he's going in motion and running a 4.440 in motion is catching the attention of the Ohio State safeties and linebackers, and it's a slight adjustment here for Oregon in the first half.
On third down, Massolli will throw for it. The end zone incomplete. He had the safety chasing a wide receiver, Mail, a little daylight, but they couldn't connect, and it'll be 4th and goal, and the field goal team for the Ducks trots onto the field.
Now, the pressure there by Kirk Coleman was vitally important for Ohio State, because if Jeremiah Massolli has just a little bit longer, that's his favorite target in this area, Jeff Mail. And Jeff Mail definitely had a chance to get away from Chekwa there to be able to come up with that touchdown.
Nate Costa, the holder who saved the Arizona game, will put it down for Morgan Flint. 24-yarder. And the Ducks are on the scoreboard. (10-3), Ohio State leads. Well, for Jeremiah Massolli and the Ducks, this is only the 4th time this season that they have been held scoreless in the opening quarter. And you might find this hard to believe, but the Buckeyes have 140 total yards to the Ducks 56. And remember, 37 of those 56 came on one play. Rob Beard, short kickoff. Sane runs up to the 15-yard line. They're going to run a reverse on it. That was Russell, the safety, coming around on it, and Mail was not fooled. 1st and 10. Pryor going to keep it all the way to the 17, but it doesn't develop quickly enough. Pryor, no more than a yard. Ferris brings him down.
Nice job here by Nick Aliotti here on 2nd down, sensing a pass from Pryor. Look at him twist up front and then bring pressure from the outside. A lot of movement in front of Terrelle Pryor this year has caused him to get happy feet. It's something that Oregon talked about. They've seen it. That time they dialed up the blitz at the right time to set up now another 3rd down and long. Watch Pryor on the scramble. Very effective here on 3rd down situations with his scrambling.
Nothing doing. They were ready. They had the pocket surrounded. Paysinger and Matthews.
Now, Oregon has 2 guys. They're thinking the same thing that we're thinking up here, Brad. Watch as Pryor wants to step up. He's got 2 guys sitting right there. Defensive tackle Brandon Bear had dropped back almost like a linebacker. There's a linebacker also off to the other side waiting for him. Nowhere for Terrelle Pryor to go. Great job the last 2 plays there by Nick Aliotti and it's Ducks defense.
Toma hunting for the Bucks. Barner at the 42-yard line. gets an edge. Great striking field position for the Ducks. A 28-yard return, and he's the young man who turned in that 37-yard run from scrimmage. So Barner is igniting the Duck team here in Pasadena. They're still kids at heart, and they love that trip every year out to Disneyland, nearby Anaheim. Here we are in Pasadena for the Rose Bowl, Oregon and Ohio State. James, who's been bottled up, slips by to the outside, and that's his most effective run of the game.
I want to mention again, after struggling in their first couple series, the adjustment is becoming pretty obvious for Chip Kelly. And a lot of times he'll tell you, it takes me 2 or 3 series to, as much film study as I do, to get a feel for what this defense might be doing, because everybody does something different. They're trying to get the ball out now on the edge with reverses and speed with LaMichael James.
Here's Massolli, going to throw it away. Well, let's take a look, Herbie, at our city inside view.
Now, this is a zone read. You can see the mesh point there, and you can see the eyes of Massolli. He's not looking at the back. He's looking at Thaddeus Gibson for his read. Gibson takes the running back, so he keeps the football and goes right over top of Anderson Russell. That is not predetermined. That's an option read, and based on what Gibson does, dictates what the quarterback Massolli does with the ball.
Completes it to James, but not much doing. Back at the original line of scrimmage where it'll be 4th down.
Ohio State disguising coverage, making it look like they're going to blitz and then dropping back. I think they caught Jeremiah Massolli off guard. Brian Rowe and Ross Holman both dropped back in coverage. He wanted to dump the ball underneath, had nowhere to go but to eventually dump it down to James, and there's Holman athletically in space making a play.
Going for it on 4th and 9 from just inside the Bucks 30. Massolli got it right at the 20, very close to the 1st down marker. Jeff Mail, the reliable one. You can see Tressel lobbying for a juggling as he went out of bounds.
Jeff Mail, Brent, you and I concur, one of the most talented receivers that probably most people outside of the Pac-10 have never heard of. He's a guy that just...
And they gave him a 1st down, and before they could even take another look at it upstairs, they quickly moved to James. Now that was just a wise move on the Ducks' part, so that they were not looking at this to see if he perhaps was juggling. Clearly, the toes are in bounds. He looked like the legendary Raymond Berry working the sideline with that reception. No question about the feet. But you saw what Tressel wanted looked at, and the Ducks said, I don't think so. Back they came. Here's James. And now James seems to be finding his stride. As you take a look at what he's accomplished this year, LaMichael James averaging now 6.9 yards a carry. He has 1,476 yards on the season, Herbert.
And once you start to get your head on a swivel as a defense and you're looking to the outside, that's when they start to go back to the inside. They're constantly battling and attacking in different ways.
The big back, powering, reaching for the end zone, and marked at the 1 by the line judge. 3rd down and goal. And the reason, of course, Herbie, a lot of people say, why did they make such a big thing out of this? This is the young man who was suspended following the Boise State game when he threw that punch and decked a Boise State player.
Brent, I think this might be a touchdown. Does his body ever touch the ground? I mean, he's landing on top of Kurt Coleman. He runs right over top of him. Does his knee ever touch, or is he landing on Ohio State defenders?
After further review, the runner was on top of players and was not declared down until he got into the end zone. It'll be a touchdown.
To say it bluntly, he's a load. Flint tacks on the point, and Oregon pulls even after spotting the Buckeyes 10. Well, we are even here, Mr. Herbstreit, at 10. Brand new deck of cards has been broken out, and the Buckeyes say deal. Sane. LeGarrette Blount got us even. Let's go down for more from Lisa.
Well, Brandon, very happy LeGarrette Blount over here on the Oregon sideline. Remember that Chip Kelly originally suspended one for the entire season after that punch. And we asked Chip Kelly about that, and he said, number one, I did that because there is no manual on how to handle a situation like that. And he said, number two, I didn't want to suspend him indefinitely because I wanted to make sure that he was doing everything the right way. Coming to practice, staying in school, going to class, not for some promise that he would be back on the team, but because that's the kind of guy he is, and that's what we wanted him to do.
Pryor. Posey. Back to the original line of scrimmage there on the just across midfield.
You know, one of the things, Brent, that Terrelle Pryor has to, I think, going to have to be able to do today is come off of his primary receiver. I think Oregon saw a lot of film this in their preparation for this bowl game, that if you can take away Terrelle Pryor's primary receiver, he has a tendency to get happy feet and starts to panic a bit, and that's what they're trying to do to try to create some pressure.
Pryor drops it off, but nothing doing. Heron eaten up on the play by Michael Clay.
Michael Clay waited and waited to be able to make this play. It's too easy for Clay to read this. It was slow developing. It was a little bit of just kind of like a shot put of a screen pass where he got it over the defensive line, but because he floated it up in the air, Clay had all day to come in and take down Boom Heron. It was poor execution that time on a screen on second down and long.
Pryor. Complete. First down, Buckeyes across the 25-yard line. Running back Danny Heron. And that time Pryor was very aware that he was not across the line of scrimmage, that it was a legal pass. He took a peek.
Brent, this time you're going to see Terrelle Pryor drop back, and look how he's looking off to his left. He wants to throw the ball to his left to Devere Posey. The receiver is taken away, so he buys enough time and eventually finds Boom Heron. Good job of showing patience that time by Pryor.
Posey to the 25-yard line, and it will be second and short after the 9-yard gain.
Well, Posey's the big play threat in the Ohio State receiving corps. Because of his size, he's a great target at 6'3", about 205 pounds, but he's sneaky and deceptive, and eventually he's going to try to get behind this man-to-man coverage, and Pryor loves to throw it to him downfield.
Sane. First down, Ohio State.
Very balanced attack that Terrelle Pryor is leading Ohio State on here, mixing up the run with the pass, and not necessarily getting the best pass protection here, but when he's had his chances to be able to step in and make a throw, boy, he has shown the ability to be accurate today.
First down and goal. Pryor, end zone, got a man, incomplete.
Pryor took a little bit too much time there. He took an extra hitch just to trust it. And because he took that extra hitch back in the pocket, he ended up throwing the football late and out of bounds. If he's able to avoid that, he had separation from Posey, and he had a touchdown pass.
Pryor, Sanzenbacher. They lose. Back to the 19. It'll be 3rd down. Boyette, the defender. Number 20, the freshman from Napa, California.
When Oregon catches a break here, because it took until the very last second for the defense to make the adjustment. There was 3-on-2. Ohio State had an advantage, but they do such a good job at getting off the blocks. See young Cliff Harris making a good job, and John Boyette's there to finish off the play.
18th play of this Buckeye drive coming up. High, incomplete, and now they will send the field goal unit out onto the team. Out of the field, I should say.
Well, that's actually very, very good coverage that time by Javis Lewis, who's on Posey, and plenty of time, pretty good protection. You can see how Terrelle Pryor is very uneasy when he has to step up into the middle of that offensive line, but Lewis, stride for stride, all over Posey that time to bat the ball away.
Devin Barkley, who has played in the Rose Bowl 3 times, but as a soccer player in the MLS, not as a football player. He will attempt this field goal, and from 30 yards, Barkley, who won the Iowa game with a dramatic 39-yarder, puts the Bucks back ahead in the Rose Bowl. He came here with Tampa Bay, the Rowdies, and his first ever assist in the MLS was on this field, and now he has kicked 1 extra point and a field goal. Let me correct myself. I dated myself. They're no longer the Rowdies. They're the Mutiny.
Oh, thank goodness.
Barkley with the ball on the tee. Short kickoff. Fielded at the 24-yard line. Down at the 31's Harris. Ball came out. Scrum is going on, and they say he is down. You see the one official pointing quickly at the ground. Buckeyes claim they have the football. Well, they might at the bottom of the pile, but I think the one official is signaling that he was down. Massolli into Buckeye territory. So Massolli comes back to 2-A. And that's a 23-yard gain, and they've got inside of a minute to work with, and 1 timeout. Massolli deflected, intercepted at the 35-yard line by Homan. Homan stops the drive right there, and now it is the Bucks who have 25 seconds remaining.
And give Doug Worthington an assist there. The big defensive lineman, this time at 6'6", right in the middle of the defense, going up against Mark Asper, gets his hand up, knocks the ball loose. And how about the instincts by Holman, his 5th interception on the year, and not only does he make the catch, but he shows his high school tailback days by getting upfield and picking up some valuable yardage.
Pryor comes back. Sanzenbacher, that's a 1st down. It'll stop it quickly. They're moving into field goal range. That's a 25-yard gain. And they will stop it.
Well, it'll be interesting to see with Petrie with a much stronger leg to see if they do eventually have this shot at a field goal, or if they are going to elect to still go with Barkley.
Well, you see Aaron Petrie over there on the sideline. Remember, he kicked their first extra point here today. He has a little bit of a longer range. His longest field goal is 52 yards. He's kicked 13, I should say 54. Let me correct myself. He's had a 52 this year, and he is 13 of 19. So with 10 seconds, they'd like one more play just a little bit closer. Pryor got to keep the clock in mind. He throws it away. 2 seconds remaining.
Well, Petrie's already out there and anxious to have his chance at this long field goal attempt. Ohio State doing just enough on offense, and the big pass by Terrelle Pryor to Seisenbacher got them in position to at least have this attempt.
Lisa was talking to Petrie down at practice earlier, and he reported to her that he had kicked a 63-yarder. A little bit different, but he's got a big leg now.
Oh, huge leg.
On its way. There's that big leg. Petrie. And the Bucks pick up 3 more as the result of Holman's interception. Coach Trussell is with Lisa.
Thank you, Brent. Coach, you started off the game with 6 consecutive passing plays, a lot less conservative than we've seen in the recent past. How come?
Well, we feel as if we have to be balanced, and Oregon's a good football team, and we're going to have to be at our best run and pass, and as you can see, this is going to be a heck of a game. Terrelle
Pryor, 15 for 24, 149 yards in that first half. Also 31 yards rushing the ball. What does that do for his confidence, having so much success running and throwing?
Well, he knows that it's a long battle to go, so hopefully he'll keep making good decisions, and he can make some big plays with his arm and his feet.
All right, thank you very much, Coach.
Well, a reminder to stay tuned now for the Nissan halftime show from the Rose Bowl in Pasadena. Chris Fowler, Lee Corso, Desmond Howard, Jesse Palmer. After this message and a word from our ABC stations. Brett Musburger with Kirk Herbstreit and Lisa Salters welcome you back to the second half of the 96 Rose Bowl game presented by Citi. The Ohio State Buckeyes lead the Oregon Ducks 16-10. Here's a shocking stat. The Buckeyes had the football for 22 of the first 30 minutes of this football game. Ducks did not count on that.
No, they did not count on that. And Chip Kelly would tell you, hey, we're very confident that we can score in a hurry. But Jim Tressel knows one of the best ways to stop Jeremiah Massolli is for Terrelle Pryor and his offense to be able to maintain possession, to keep Massolli on the sideline where he can't do so much damage.
Well, we shall find out right away, because the Ducks get the ball first here in the second half. They won the toss and elected to defer, so it will be Oregon football. Devin Barkley will kick it away here for the Buckeyes. The crowd settling back in after the intermission and the bands. Fielded on the 7-yard line by Barner. Barner got a gap. Barner explodes, and he is out to the 46-yard line. Let's check in with Lisa.
Well, Brenda, just talking to Chip Kelly, he said, hey, our mission is simple. Terrelle Pryor is the guy who's going to beat us. We've got to contain him. He said, but we do have him figured out. And I said, what do you mean? He goes, well, we know what he's going to do. Our guys are getting to him. And then he laughed. He said, we just got to tackle him. He's a big son of a gun. Guys.
That 39-yard return gives his offense.
That's right.
Good field position here to open the second half. Massolli has to throw this away because Jermail Hines was all over him. They brought a blitz. Jimmy Haycock is calling a sensational game defensively for the Buckeyes.
Well, we've talked a lot about Jim Tressel being aggressive on the offensive side, but Brent, we're also seeing it from Jim Haycock and Luke Fickell dialing up blitzes. And again, they're trying to mix up the looks to try to slow down Massolli.
Hands it off straight ahead. This will be 3rd down and long. And this is the situation that Haycock's defense wants over and over and over again. We've got a 6-point game. Big 3rd down and 8 yards. And the Ducks are 0 for 5 on 3rd.
Brent, we were just talking at the break. You might be saying, why on 3rd down are they running the football? It's because Chip Kelly, with a field goal kicker, Morgan Flint, that has a long of 43 this year, he's thinking about this is 4-down territory. So on 3rd down, let's get as close as we can to try to set up a conversion here on 4th down.
Empty backfield. Massolli throws for the 1st down. They're to the red zone. And that's the second catch of the day for Tuine.
This is a great call here by Chip Kelly, getting the ball out to the left flat. Ohio State in man coverage. Nobody left there to pick up Tuine. The defenders went to the inside. A good read by Massolli to throw the ball to the outside.
There is James and nothing doing. Bucks were ready. Holman leading the charge. He intercepted a pass late in the first half, which led to the final Ohio State field goal.
Oregon with his hurry-up offense.
On second down, pump fake. Now he's got to come to the side. That was dangerous because it was red off the pump by Hines, who was stepping in to the flat. Dixon, the intended receiver.
Well, I think Jeremiah Massolli and Jeff Mayo might have miscommunicated there, because I think Massolli recognized that Ohio State had the play very well defended, and he wanted to give it a pump fake and try to get the ball downfield to Jeff Mayo, who was actually blocking downfield.
Barner had a big 37-yard play earlier. He motions out. He'll be the receiver. From the 21, he's got the first and goal to the 6-yard line. So Kenyon Barner, the freshman from Riverside, California, delivers again.
And a great block by Carson York, the left guard. He gets just enough of Ross Holman to give the back this time, Barner, enough room to accelerate upfield. Nice block that time, Carson York.
So they convert a 4th down and now a 3rd down. So it'll be 2nd down from the 4. Barner stays on the field. Holman with the stop.
Well, this defensive line doing a very good job of getting penetration consistently in the backfield to try to slow down Massolli, and he's doing a good job of being able to offset that with the speed.
Touchdown, Oregon. Barner. No, hold on. The line judge says he was down at the 1. Line judge had a perfect view of it down the line. I'm sure they'll take a second look at it, and LeGarrette Blount quickly checks in. And here is the hammer. Massolli keeps it. Massolli for the score.
Brent, me and you and the Ohio State defense thought, as you said, the hammer had the football, because the tendency is when Jeremiah Massolli has LeGarrette Blount in the backfield inside the 5-yard line, the big guy has it, right? No, Ohio State thought so. Massolli keeps it and gets through Brian Roll and into the end zone.
Morgan Flint. And the Ducks lead for the first time today in this Rose Bowl. Jeremiah Massolli. They convert a 4th down. They convert a 3rd down. And then Massolli takes it in for 6. There is this year's queen. As you look inside the tournament house, located right here in Pasadena. Freeway rather quiet. You see the proximity of the Rose Bowl. Sun starting to set. Almost 4:30 here along the Pacific Coast. 1-point game. Beard kicks it away. Buckeyes first possession of the second half. And Herron. And there's a penalty flag at the 41-yard line. Pick up a yard on a running play. 2nd down and 8. Play fake by Pryor. Rolls to the left. Throws down to Posey. Got it. At the 29-yard line. DeVere Posey.
Let's take a look at the DirecTV Ultimate Picture Cam. A great throw, and Terrelle Pryor in rhythm. Rolling out to his left, he gathers himself, and he throws his football before DeVere Posey has a chance to even make his break to the sideline. Put the ball right in position, well-timed, and a great throw. You can see the chemistry that time between Pryor and DeVere Posey.
36 yards. Pryor rolls the other way, and now he's red hot. Sanzenbacher at the 25, blasted out of bounds by Harris.
Well, the young freshman came up and made a play here, even though he gave up some yards. Letting Sanzenbacher know about it.
Terrelle Pryor has thrown for 198 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions, and he has been feeling it, rolling to the left and now coming back to the right on the move. Sane tries to get the first down, and he's pushed out of bounds very close to it. It'll be a 3rd down and very short.
Time the young freshman fullback Zach Boren trying to lead the way. It's getting kind of physical and a bit chippy. It's been a little chippy the entire game when Oregon's defense and the Ohio State offense have been going back and forth.
Comes Sane for the first down. Casey Matthews, number 55, is in there in that stop. What a familiar name to you Rose Bowl fans. This is the 5th straight Rose Bowl that a member of the Matthews family has played. That's right. Kyle and Clay for USC. Today, Casey with the Ducks. Of course, his father was a great player at USC, and he only played 19 years in the NFL. Then his uncle, Bruce, he also played in the Bulls. So how about this family connection? The family Matthews and the Rose Bowl. First down and 10. Read option, and the Ducks read it better than the Bucks.
Well, they see that every day in practice. They're gonna read that in a hurry. Anytime you go up against your own offense in spring ball and in two-a-days, you're pretty familiar with another offense that has the audacity to run some form of the zone read. And Terrelle Pryor's in no man's land. He wanted to pull the ball out, and Brandon Sane wanted to take it, and eventually he just had to let go before there was possibly a fumble.
2nd down and long. Pryor, Sanzenbacher holds on. Ripped at the 13, incomplete.
John Boyette does a good job, and all-out blitz by Oregon. Ohio State picks up, but there's one extra man that they can't account for. Pryor has to account for him by getting rid of the football. Boyette goes low, and Sanzenbacher lucky to get up from that hit. It's about the only thing Boyette could do is have heavy contact to try to separate Sanzenbacher from the football.
What a great hit. 3rd and 13. Pryor fires behind the receiver. Misread. Sanzenbacher cutting to the post, and Pryor threw behind him.
They had what they wanted, one-on-one matchup, and Pryor trying to get the ball out early. I think you could tell by the throw was anticipating Sanzenbacher maybe staying up closer to the middle of the field. But Dane must have seen the coverage that he had to break it off a little bit early.
The Bucks have 3 field goals today. Here's Devin Barkley attempting to make their 4th and regain the lead. It's a 38-yarder. And Ohio State regains the lead. 19-17, 6.5 minutes left. 3rd quarter of a dandy Rose Bowl. Well, we welcome you back to the 96th Rose Bowl game presented by Citi. The Big Ten and the Pac-10. 1917 right now. The Big Ten champion leads with an attendance of 93,963. Both these schools turned out, and tickets were at a premium for this Rose Bowl. Barkley. Corner back at the 2-yard line. slips, and he's had 2 outstanding returns here in the second half. That was a 36-yard return, and the young man, remember, he had a 100-yarder for a touchdown on the same field against UCLA. He's delivering again. James, number 21, is the running back. Varner overall has had a huge day. He's rushed for 55 yards, and James for only 40. Offensively, the Buckeyes have 280 yards, and the Ducks 172. And battling, coming free is James. Appeared to be stopped, broke free before Russell gets him out of bounds.
Well, this is the matchup that we wanted to see today. One of the best backs in the country against one of the best safeties in the country. And right there, Kurt Coleman has to make that play close to the line of scrimmage. And that gives you an idea. You look at LaMichael James, 5'9", 180 pounds. He's not just elusive and quick. He has tremendous power as he ran right through Kurt Coleman.
End around. And they pick up another 8. Varner. That's the second time he's been successful coming off the edge with that play. Fumble, loose ball, and it's a free ball. And it'll go out of bounds on the sideline as Blunt was the running back that time, and that'll come out on the 20.
Ohio State will take over at the 20-yard line, and I don't think LeGarrette Blunt, Brent, ever had a handle on the ball. We keep talking about how they're attacking with the reverse. They keep going to the edge of the defense. Well, they faked it this time, and LeGarrette Blunt ended up kicking the football as it came out of his hands, and when it goes out of the end zone, it's the defense's ball at the 20. Watch the football. Does he ever? No, it never got in there, and then his left foot kicked the football. It's a scramble, but it goes out of the end zone. This is an offense that, as good as they've been this year, they've been prone to mistakes. They've fumbled this year 26 times coming in and lost 15 fumbles. That's among the worst in the college football.
Now they settle in with Sane on the power running game. TJ Ward, if you haven't watched him, number 2, just an outstanding hard-hitting safety for the Ducks. That's the young man without the helmet. Now he's ready.
From the great high school program, De La Salle, Northern California.
You bet.
Constantly churning out great Division I football players, and as we said earlier, he's kind of the emotional spark plug, the intimidator of the Ducks defense.
Sane again.
This offense, these first 2 plays of this series, is the way Ohio State has really played for an entire game down the stretch of the season. And I think that's when fans and Terrelle Pryor and others got a little bit impatient. They wanted to see more of Pryor doing his thing, and that's what we've seen tonight.
Going to the 4th quarter, and as you look at that scoreboard, this is a Buckeye kind of game. Keep in mind that in their last 6 games coming down the stretch of the Pac-10, there were more than 60 points scored in each of Oregon's games. The Buckeyes of Ohio State, they haven't been in a 60-point game all season, and it doesn't look like they're going to be in one here tonight. In fact, Navy scored the most points against the Bucks this year, 27. This presentation of the Rose Bowl game presented by City returns after this message and a word from our ABC stations. That sun is still shining brightly over in Hawaii as it sets here over the Pacific.
Well, you grow up in the Midwest and you watch the Rose Bowl. This game used to look like Disneyland.
That is
bright
the truth.
colors. It gets dark when it's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Pryor takes off, breaks the tackle, got the first down. The athleticism of number 2.
Terrelle Pryor Oregon knew that this is one of the things they had to contain and take away from Ohio State. He doesn't always see the field well, especially his middle field reads. He doesn't trust it, and he comes off of it. Eddie Pleasant, a very fast linebacker, is right there. He's got to be able to make that play. Pryor cuts back behind him and is able to pick up the first down. It's a blitz.
Hands it off to Heron.
Going back to Nick Aliotti, the defensive coordinator from Oregon. Have to be able to stop Terrelle Pryor from scrambling and creating. Not that he's hurt him a lot tonight, but just enough on certain downs.
Pryor rolling to the right. Sanzenbacher short of the first down.
The thing that's probably surprised Nick Aliotti and Oregon's defense, maybe more than even you and I and everybody watching this game, is that Terrelle Pryor is 20 of 33 pass attempts from an offense that's been very conservative since their loss to Purdue.
Dominating the clock.
Keeping Massolli on the sideline.
Pryor, first down, Sanzenbacher.
It's a great throw by Pryor, but Oregon actually gives him the passing lane. They walk their linebacker up, Casey Matthews, 55, and you can see him there in your picture. When he walked up to show blitz, he didn't get back in time, and it made it very easy for Pryor to find a passing lane to get the ball to Dane Sanzenbacher, who was going up against soft coverage on third down.
Pryor, backside down. And he was hit by Kenny Rowe, who is just an outstanding defensive player. Terrific pickup speed.
Oh, Kenny Rowe, what a night tonight for the Oregon Duck defensive end. Going up against Jim Cordell at the top. Watch again. It's the effort. Number 58, the third time tonight he's been able to catch up to Terrelle Pryor, and it's been because of his attitude. He just won't stop. And Brandon Barrett gives his best to Terrelle, along with Rowe.
2nd and 12. Pryor slips and he's down. Comes third down for the Bucks. Lead it by 2. 9.5 minutes. Jake Ballard been very quiet. There's a tight end here tonight. Is released into a few pass patterns, mainly used as a blocker. Sanzenbacher will go into the slot. Heron is the running back. Pryor slips away, throws it in the air, caught, and there's our man Ballard. Right on cue, Jake Ballard.
Jake Ballard, Brent, you called it 6'6", able to go up and make a play. It looked like Pryor had just thrown it up into coverage. I think the Ducks thought they had a great shot to go up and take this ball away, but the former high school basketball star makes the play.
Now they come back, and Sanzenbacher can't hang on. So it'll be 2nd down and 10 as the Bucks try to pick the tempo up a little bit.
About Ballard going up in the air to make that catch.
Well, Herbert, you put your point out. It was like a basketball player.
Springboro High School, one of the great high school basketball players, his senior year in the state of Ohio, and he looked like that going up.
Didn't he, though?
Bringing down a board.
2nd and 10. Heron trying to follow the left side. Cordell and Justin Boren, the transfer from Michigan, on that left side.
This will be interesting for Jim Tressel on third down, because tonight he's gone against his tendencies. He's up by 2. Tressel ball would call for a run here to keep it in the middle of the field and have confidence in your kicker, Petrie, to come out and kick a field goal. This is within his range. But tonight he's kind of gone against the grain. Will he put Pryor in a position to take a chance and throw the football?
Penalty flag. Steps across that marker, but this one could be coming back.
Offside on a defense.
On the defense.
First down.
I think it was the nose guard that time. Brandon Bear, who is just trying to get a jump on the ball. Yeah, I mean, that's a great call. Brewster's able to get the ball up, but we saw this earlier, how physical he can be. This is a safety. He throws him to the Rose Bowl turf and picks up yards for a first down.
Hands it off, and Herron pounds to the middle. Now we're seeing a little bit of Tressel balls. He brings down that clock, tries to keep the pressure on the Ducks here, tries to keep it moving on the ground.
That's what he's about. You know, he's always playing the odds in his favor. Plays very, very smart. These kind of games, you touched on it earlier, this is his comfort zone. And it wouldn't bother him at all to kick a field goal here and to put him up by 5 and force the Ducks to eventually have to go down and score a touchdown.
They've kicked 4 field goals and scored 1 touchdown on their first series of the game. He throws, end zone, Posey, touchdown, Ohio State.
Ladies and gentlemen, who wanted to move Terrelle Pryor to wide receiver after the Purdue game, take note of that throw and of this performance tonight in the biggest game of the year for the Ohio State team.
Petrie tacks on the extra point. Could this be the Buckeyes comeback night in a BCS Bowl? We're about to find out. Well, the daytime turns to nighttime here in Southern California as we welcome you back to the 96 Rose Bowl game presented by Citi. Still not much movement outside this Rose Bowl. 26-17. Buckeyes lead it. Barner has been electric. They decide to kick it short to him, and he fields it at the 20, set the reverse, and they pitch it out. And here it comes Harris. Harris down the far side. They run the reverse on the short kickoff, and the young corner from Fresno, California, gets it done for the Ducks.
Great call here by Chip Kelly and his special teams coach here. Everybody's expecting Barner, who's had a great night on kickoff returns, to return it. Perfect time to go with the reverse. Barkley ends up knocking out Harris out of bounds, but Cliff Harris showing he's got some speed himself as he got around to the corner there and gives Massolli and the Ducks exactly what they needed. Outstanding field position in an Ohio State territory.
They trail it by 9. LaMichael James back in the game. And he will carry it. Spins away from a would-be tackler. Finally, Brian Roll, who was shaken up earlier, brings the freshman from Texarkana, Texas down. What a year he's had. 1,400 yards and 14 rushing touchdowns. Second down, he's in trouble here. The Bucks were all over that. Doug Worthington in on top of him. We check in with Lisa.
As you said, Brent, LaMichael James back in the game. I'm told by the Oregon training staff the x-rays were negative. They put some extra padding on that left shoulder, and he's giving it a go.
Well, here we go at third down. Massolli. Complete. short of the first down. That was James, the receiver.
Is interesting. This is interesting for Chip Kelly. Normally, he's always about being aggressive and going, but it's a two-possession game. He needs 3 points, and this is very out of character for Chip Kelly to bring the field goal unit out here because he needs points on this possession, and he needs guaranteed points.
You don't want to misfire on this. You've got to take the 3 when you've got a chance.
Exactly. Exactly.
Morgan Flint. Slides it right. No good. And now the Ducks are under the gun. Down 9, 5-10 to go. Costa had to use an extra second to set the ball after the snap. Jim Tressel's first Rose Bowl as a head coach at Ohio State. Sane is on the field.
Brent, you and I know Coach Tressel very well, and I think we would both agree that this is a different Jim Tressel tonight in the way he approached this game, how aggressive he approached this game on both sides of the football, most notably offensively with what Terrelle Pryor has done so far in this game. There's going to be a lot of talk about Terrelle Pryor, but it should start with Jim Tressel being willing to turn Pryor loose tonight and have the confidence in him.
Pryor, pitch, Sane after the juggle. Run out of bounds on the Ohio State sideline, short of the first down.
Pryor on this option game, it's an option that just takes a lot of time to develop, and eventually he pitches it out. And if Torian Washington doesn't pick up that block, that play is not only a loss of yardage, potentially a fumble. Great block by Washington. Gives Ohio State here a chance on third down. Ducks are not only trying to get the ball back, but as you can see, under 4 minutes, now the clock's a big factor.
Third down and 2. Option look again. Pryor will keep it for the first down.
Well, Pryor tonight, because he's thrown the football so much, I think people are going to remember that, but I think you have to appreciate a quarterback who's been throwing linebackers and safeties all game long and fighting through arm tackles, and once he breaks free at 6'6", 235, he's got the athletic ability. Here's Javis Lewis, one of the more physical tacklers on the Oregon defense, getting thrown to the turf as well. So Pryor has done a little bit of everything tonight for this Ohio State offense.
From up under center. Now the power running game of the Buckeyes. That was Sane. And now the Ducks are forced to use a timeout. Down to 3 minutes. And Pryor's going to keep it. Out of bounds on the far side, which I know that Terrelle would have preferred to stay in bounds, but the angle on him made it almost mandatory for the quarterback to step out. I know you're someone who's down below, Herbie, who is as overjoyed watching this. Jim Tressel made sure that he came out here with former coach Earl Bruce, and that's Steve Snap. Long time, great SID at Ohio State. Came up to the box. He's been struggling a little bit with his health lately, and I couldn't have been happier to see Steve Snap here. Would not have seemed like a Rose Bowl with the Buckeyes of Ohio State without Steve in attendance. And I know he's counting down the 2:41 now. First down.
A comfort zone for Jim Tressel, like a python, just slowly squeezing.
Herbie, you see this all the time, right?
You think he's tired of hearing about 3 straight losses in BCS bowl games? It's not over yet.
That game plan just crumpled in his hand.
Yeah.
First down and 10, and Heron pounced straight ahead. You know, one of the questions that we were asked about before the start of the game, and it's I think it's really a good one, Herbie, was is the Buckeye defense? You know, there's all this talk when the Big Ten struggle in bowl games, and specifically Ohio State. They're not fast enough for these flashy teams from the SEC and the Pac-10 and the Big 12. Are they fast enough to stay with the Ducks? They have proved beyond a shadow of doubt. You know, all you have to do is look around the NFL, folks. There are plenty of Buckeye players out there. Santonio Holmes certainly comes to my mind. They can flat move. I mean, that was never the primary issue.
No, but when you show up flat and uninspired in any bowl game, you're going to get exposed in certain areas. And I think the knee-jerk reaction is say, oh, they're not very fast, they can't run. You're right. You go down the list of NFL rosters, maybe USC, maybe Miami of Florida, but Ohio State doesn't take a back seat. So it's not about individual talent. And this will go a long way in helping to show people they can play.
And here's the MVP of the night, Terrelle Pryor. He just put the trophy away with that little bootleg for 12 more yards.
And I think it's a sign of things to come in the 2010 season for Ohio State, a team that returns the majority of this football team back. You're going to see Terrelle Pryor put in this kind of offense with Jim Tressel trusting him more and being willing to attack both running the football and throwing the football. It's a big night for Pryor and his growth. There's no doubt about that.
Look at what Terrelle Pryor has done himself against that fabulous Oregon offense. And this game was not played at the Duck pace right from the beginning. It looked like a lower scoring game than many people thought. We're sitting on what now, 43 total? And like I said, the last 6 or 7 games, the Ducks have been in the 60s. But tonight, the Ohio State D rules, and a point I want to make before we keep praising the Buckeyes, and they deserve it. 18 Oregon starters are coming back next year, including Massolli.
Absolutely.
So for Oregon Duck fans, I know it's a tremendously unhappy afternoon right now, but I think this team will be the preseason choice to win the Pac-10, and they could well wind up, well, they're certainly going to be in the top 10.
Totally agree. Totally agree. And with Massolli coming back and James, much like Ohio State, most of that nucleus is back.
Watch the vest, baby. Here it comes. Where are those rascals? I know they're lurking back there.
It's not over. It's not over yet.
He won't let him do it. Oh, no! But he'll look at that clock and say, what's with you guys? There's 40 seconds, but he couldn't resist a big hug with Coleman. And the all Big Ten safety. What a day for the conference. Not just Ohio State. Penn State beats LSU. Northwestern goes to overtime with Auburn. But the Buckeyes rule. Put that gorilla away in the closet. You remember what Chip said before this game? Coach Tressel gets it.
Absolutely.
A touchdown in the first quarter and a touchdown in the fourth quarter. And field goals in between. Time of possession tonight, folks. 41-37 for Ohio State in this game. Let's go down to Coach Tressel with Lisa.
Thanks, Brent. Coach, I just saw you had a nice long word with Chip Kelly. What did you say to him?
Well, you know, I have so much respect for Chip. Worked his way up through the 1AA ranks, and us 1AA guys stick together, and, you know, just enjoyed spending a week with him. I really didn't know him before this week very much. You know, he runs a good program. He has got a good team, and there's no question he's a good one.
All week long, I've been hearing that you were handcuffing Terrelle Pryor. He was only able to hand off the ball. If that's true, what were you doing with him tonight?
Well, you were listening to the wrong people then, whoever you were hearing that from. You know, we've done what we thought we should do. in various situations, and thought Terrelle did a heck of a job tonight.
What did he prove to people tonight, Terrelle Pryor?
Well, that we won the Rose Bowl, but now we have to go play the next game. So it's huge, though. You know, to win the Rose Bowl is unbelievable.
So much was said about their up-tempo offense. Wasn't much of a factor tonight. How were you able to slow them down?
Well, we have an up-tempo defense, and they run, and they hit, and they prepare. And it was a good game. Don't take anything away from Oregon. This was a good team. This was number 7 against number 8.
I asked you before the game, what does this win mean for the Big Ten and Ohio State?
Well, it's a big thing. We hadn't won the Rose Bowl for a while, and we'd lost a couple chances to play in it because we were playing somewhere else, and this was huge.
All right, thank you very much, Coach. Congratulations. Brent?
Lisa, the Buckeyes have won their 7th Rose Bowl overall. Jim Tressel once came here as an assistant coach back in the 80s. But now, for the first time as a head coach, he comes away with a victory in the Rose Bowl. Well, the Ohio State Buckeyes have assembled at midfield, and let us go down below to John Saunders. John.
Brent Musburger, thanks a lot. First of all, we should say congratulations to the Pac-10 champion Oregon Ducks. Joining me here on the podium is Ryan Cools of the Wounded Warrior Project. Welcome him. And to make the trophy presentation, Jeff Throop, the acting president of the 2010 Tournament of Roses. Coach Tressel, congratulations on winning the 96th Rose Bowl game. 96. On behalf of the Tournament of Roses, I'm very proud to present you with the Leishman Trophy as the Rose Bowl champions. Congratulations.